And that is a gorgeous shot. Cecil Cooper, his team off to a shaky start initially, but they're 9-6 their last 15 ball games for the former Milwaukee Brewer. This is his second full season. Parts of 3 seasons now as their manager. His batting order: Kaz Matsui up top, couple of hits yesterday. Michael Bourne, Lance Berkman was 4 for 4 yesterday. He's got the average up to 216. Carlos Lee, Miguel Tejada, they're both red hot. Hunter Pence is swinging the bat well. Pudge is back in there. He had yesterday off. Jeff Keppinger is really the only change. He'll get the start for Jeff Blum. And Wandy Rodriguez will pitch and bat 9th. Jason Hamill, hard-throwing, tall right-hander, came from Tampa Bay late in spring training. He is on the hill for the Rockies. And stepping in is Matsui. And the first pitch of the ball game, and a good-looking bunt. Atkins a tough chance, and he throws it up the right field line. Brad Hopp's going to go after retrieve the baseball, and Matsui will be at second base. It'll either be a 2-base error or a single, I'm sure, and a 1-base error. That'd probably be the more appropriate call. It is a base hit and an error on Garrett Atkins, allowing him to move to second. So not the start the Rockies were looking for. For Atkins, that's his 4th error of the year. Michael Bourne at the plate. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to lay down a bunt.
Well, that's the way the infielders are playing now for the Rockies, looking for him to pull the ball either to first or try to lay another one down the third baseline. That's where I would try to take it.
And that's what he does. And you know what? I don't know if they're going to get him. Nope, safe there. It's just a smart play. It's a win-win situation for Bourne. We were describing it the other night when Dexter Fowler was at the plate in a sacrifice situation, and he dragged a bunt. And if he gets a hit, super. If he doesn't, he's at the very least going to move the runner up.
Well, yeah, and then the other thing too is it's an easy bunt for you as a guy from the left-handed box to try to lay one down there because everything's right in front of you. The other thing I think of is I'm going to go right back to the guy that made the error just previously in Garrett Atkins. Make him field the ball back-to-back times.
So small ball for the Houston Astros. They have 2 speed guys up top to do that. Now you got the big slugger in Lance Berkman. And now you have to worry about Bourne running. I mean, this is just a headache from the get-go.
Yeah, because you got Bourne now with 11 stolen bases, only been caught 3 times. And you look at Jorvik behind the plate, only 1 for 14, throwing runners out. Hamill's got to be quick to the plate.
And that's on the outside corner. And it's got to throw your rhythm off. I mean, when you slide step and where you go a little quicker, you hold the baseball longer, it's like taking a jump shot, right?
Well, you
do things in rhythm, and if the runner gets you out of that rhythm.
Yeah, and then how many times you see the ball left up, and the balls that are left up are the ones that get hit far. And the other thing too, having a veteran guy like Lance Berkman, good eye at the plate, not afraid to hit with a strike or 2 on him, that all working against the Rockies right now.
Yeah, Berkman leads the club in walks with 22, despite the fact that he's off to a slow start. Shattered bat to Atkins, and he's going to have 1 play. That's first, low throw, safe there. Wow. Right now the baseball's finding a guy that's struggling offensively, and Garrett Atkins had a low throw. He looked to second. He had no play at Bourne, but Berkman, for a big man, runs decently.
Well, he does, and then once you bobble the baseball, you have to go over to first, and then the ball came up at the sideways spin, just came up and ate Garrett up onto the wrist. He just didn't look it all the way in. Todd tried to help him over at first base, and Lance still can get down the line just a little bit. Straight air all the way. Now 5 errors on the season for Garrett. 2 already here in the first inning.
This is where the game can be cruel. Carlos Lee with 2 on, 1-0. And that's a foul tip. It is an RBI for Berkman.
Well, from the Hyundai cam, a broken bat. I mean, that ball was below the label, about 3 or 4 inches inside, above the hands. Great shot from the Hyundai cam.
On the ground is short. Is it hit hard enough for 2? Vargas for 1 on to first. Double play. No, safe. Helton pulled his bag, pulled the foot off the bag to get to the baseball on that throw by Stewart. That's got to be converted. He had enough time.
Yep.
Carlos Lee did not get a great jump out of the box. That's a double play that has to be turned.
Well, it does, especially in this situation. You've already made a couple miscues. You're down by 1. Now, I understand that Lance Berkman's right on top of you, but you have to know the base runner and the runners that are going. And Carlos Lee is not a guy that gets out of the box particularly well. But you're right. That's a ball, even though it wasn't hit that hard, has to be converted into a double play.
Now Miguel Tejada. For Jason Hamlin, you could somehow get out of this thing only giving up 1. That would be something. 2 bunt singles to begin. Matsui and Bourne. Couple of errors. Fielder's choice, first and third, 1 out. Tejada at the plate with a 1-0 count. 3 for 5 yesterday for Miguel with 3 RBIs. Take a look at the Fidelity scouting report. The tall right-hander.
Well, Jason Hamlin, 90 to 95 on the fastball, curveball, changeup. What he needs to create with that fastball is downhill playing. Had it very, very good in San Francisco, and the last outing wasn't there. Left some pitches up. Curveball. That becomes the other secondary pitch that he needs to be able to control, to throw 0-0 counts, 1-0 behind in the counts. Got to be able to throw something off speed, because we saw what happens with the Astros middle of the lineup, and quite frankly all their hitters yesterday, when they could just sit fastball.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Hamel has the ability, especially ahead, to get a strikeout with that hard curveball, that power curveball.
Yeah, the altitude doesn't affect that curveball whatsoever here. He's able to get on top of that, get that rotation, 12 to 6 angle on it, and drop it off the table.
I think it's a good enough pitch, even if you're sitting on it.
You still get, yeah.
That you still get beat with it.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
1-2. He went to the fastball, and he just missed down low. 2-2. And Torrealba maybe thinking that Tejada was in a breaking ball count, looking for a breaking ball. Check the running game. That's why you see Yorvit looking to the Rockies dugout.
If I'm Jason, I don't worry about Carlos Lee over there. Got to get the guy at the plate.
Three and 2. Missed again with a heater.
Well, we saw yesterday what Cecil Cooper would do with Tejada at the plate, put the runners in motion. I wouldn't be shocked, even with Carlos Lee over there, that he put him in motion and Tejada let him swing the bat.
He's moving, and it's fouled off. A couple of years ago, Lee selectively chose the right time to steal bases. He stole 18 bases a couple of years ago. Take a look at the gloves for the Rockies. Matt Merton's in left field today. Ryan Spilborghs is in center. Brad Hoffman right. Barmes is in short. Tulowitzki's okay. He got hit on the elbow. They're giving him a day. Hopefully he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow. Stewart and Helton also in the infield. Torrealba behind the plate. 3-2 again. Runner moving. Swung on and missed. Throw to second. Safe there. And Stewart couldn't get it out of his glove. And the runner from third scores. That's the risky run with Bourne having such great speed. But the intent of Torrealba is right. I mean, if you can throw out Lee and get him before that run scores, inning over.
Right, but he got such a walking lead that he kept going. And the other thing that hindered Yorvit was Tejada's swing kept him back just a little bit. But as soon as he let go of the ball, Michael Bourne took off. Bourne, as soon as he comes up, if you had a different play on where you would fake that throw and then go to third, that's just one of those calls that you make as a coach or a manager, and you just live with it.
And that goes down as a steal of home.
Yeah.
Have to think about that one for a second, because we haven't seen one of those in a while, but that is a steal of home for Bourne, his 12th stolen base of the year. 0-1 on Hunter Pence. Keys to the game brought to you by Burt Auto.
Well, first and foremost is Jason Hamill. He's got to go out there and establish that fastball, and then quality at bats from your offense. With Wandy Rodriguez, you got to take advantage of the mistakes that he will make, and then the bullpen. If something does happen, Jason has to come out early. Look for Matt Belisle to be the first guy called. But then when you think about some of the guys that are down, Rush threw a lot of pitches last night. You got to make sure that bullpen's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, Glennon Rush is down today.
Yep.
It would be Belisle. One would figure to be the long man.
Yep.
2-1 on Hunter Pence. Pence hitting .409 in the month of May. And this ball is off into the crowd down the right side, out of play. Pence is a hard-nosed guy. He plays the game one way, and that's all out in everything he does.
You think about a guy that's 6'4", 6'5", like Pence, to choke up on the bat. You just don't see that from a big guy very often.
2-2 with Lee at second. 3-2. Pudge Rodriguez, your former teammate. Nice interview before the ball game, Jeff Hughes and Pudge Rodriguez.
It was fun. It was fun to get together with him again. Discuss what he's doing. Says he wants to play till at least 40.
Wait till they kick you out.
That's what I say. Well, as productive as he is, too.
Makes his home in South Florida now. Does spend a lot of time still in Puerto Rico, from what I understand.
Yep. The baseball academy down there.
Here's the 3-2 on Pence. And it's fouled off yet again.
Well, Pence is like a lot of taller guys. He likes the ball away from him. He likes to drive that ball to the opposite way. If you do come in, he will turn on it, but the majority of the time, he's thinking the opposite field. Even with the choked up bat, he's just thinking to drive it that way.
And he drives it up the middle. Racing to the baseball is Spilborghs. Here comes Lee around third. Here's the throw. And it's high. And going to second base, moving up is Pence. And as they did yesterday, Houston has put up a 3 spot in the first inning.
Well, that's what Hunter Pence tries to do. Just got it out of my mouth that he's just thinking to poke the ball to the right side, up the middle. And that's what he does. Tried to go inside and really missed the target by about 6-7 inches. Jorvik set up. That ball goes back over the middle part of the plate. And I understand what Ryan Spilborghs is doing here, trying to throw Lee out at the plate. But you have to get that ball down eye level to the cutoff man so Pence does not take second base. It just can't happen. Now you've got another runner in scoring position.
There have been some small things in this inning that have hurt the Rockies. Not converting a double play.
Yep.
That throw there, trying to get it there on the fly. And again, to your point, you know, Spilborgh's trying to cut down a guy that's not the fastest guy in baseball, in Carlos Lee. But now you have another runner in scoring position. Pudge throws out a hit. Instead of it requiring 2 hits to get Pence home, he throws out a hit. Pence does run well. And now you're down 4-0.
Yep. Houston's really just carried over what they did last night as far as runners in scoring position, though, Drew. Last night they were 12 for 24. Already today, 3 for 5.
You know, you played some third base also in your career. with the two speed guys who led off the inning, you know, you see guys come in on the grass with a guy like Matsui and Bourne. Do you even have to come in a little further when the guy has really outstanding speed? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to
with Michael Bourne, I would have, because I would have known that that's where he's going to try to bunt the ball down the third baseline. I'm going to make sure I get an out in that situation.
I mean, even if that meant being 30 feet from him,
that's okay.
Bourne's going to bunt there. You had to figure.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's his game. That's his game, to lay down bunts. So you got to try to take it away. You can't necessarily be worried about the guy going over to third base. You worry about the pitcher getting over there, the rotation of it all. But the outs at that point, I would trade the out for the guy getting over to third base.
2-1 on Ivan Rodriguez, and he hits this ball down the right field line. It's got tail on it. It's going to go into the seats, foul. Pudge sitting on 299 lifetime home runs. Third all time in games played behind the plate, 2,204 today. Another foul ball. The only guys with more: Carlton Fisk,
another
Pudge, and Bob Boone. Catchers are always Pudge, huh?
Seems like it. If I'm not mistaken, Fisk was catching the day that Pudge Rodriguez made his major league debut.
Really?
Yep.
Wandy Rodriguez, I'm sure doesn't mind the weight.
No, not at all. Trying to stay loose, though. Came in from the bullpen about 20 minutes ago. You just do a little bit of stretching, might go up and do a little jogging right in the tunnel.
Whoa, bat goes flying, swung on and missed, and that'll end the inning as Rodriguez is fanned by Hamill. In the inning, there were 3 runs on 3 hits. There were 2 Rockies errors. And the Rockies will have to battle uphill again from Jump Street. 3-0 Houston. To last night when Houston had a 3-0 lead through the first half inning. Here's the Southwest batting order for Clint Hurdle. Ryan Spilborghs is up top. Clint Barmas in the 2-hole. He came on late yesterday and had a couple of hits. Todd Helton's on fire at 345. Matt Merton has hit Wandy Rodriguez very well. Brad Hopp's hitting everybody. He's at 362. Garrett Atkins trying to snap out of a long slump. Yorvi Torrealba next, and then Ian Stewart. He of the frequent long ball over the last few days, and then Jason Hamill. And the first pitch from Wandy Rodriguez is in there for a strike on Spilboards. It's a very clever left-hander who's not necessarily a soft tosser. I mean, he can hit 90 with his fastball.
Well, he is, and the other thing that he does real well, he hides the baseball. 5'11", but when he comes and gets that arm going, he creates some downhill playing with it, as we like to say. But he's sneaky. I mean, how many you watch the hitters when they take a pitch or when they swing at one? It seems like they're always swinging late when it's not a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
He usually is able to paint that one just off the plate at 91, so it's 3-1. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wandy in his last outing beat the Padres 2-0. He went 8 innings, did not allow any runs, obviously. It was a shutout. No walks, 7 strikeouts. This ball's lifted to to Michael Bourne in center. And that's the first out. Let's take a look at the Fidelity scouting report on the native of the Dominican Republic, the 30-year-old.
Yeah, Wandy 87 to 92. We'll sit right around 89 to 91. Curveball, changeup. All 3 are very, very good pitches. What the Rockies need to do is be aggressive in the strike zone with that fastball. He will throw it, and he will throw it a lot. Throw the changeup mainly to right-handers and breaking pitches to both lefties and righties.
Clint Barmas steps up. Barmas takes a ball. Barmas at shortstop as a starter for the 4th time this year. Two for 2 yesterday. He's 3 for 14 on the homestand. He's had his playing time reduced a little bit with Stewart's ability to hit the long ball.
And to hit lefties.
And to hit lefties.
Yeah, you think about it, there's as many lefties as the Rockies are going to see. You'd think that Clint would get a few more starts, but he ain't swinging the bat. Driving in the runs.
3-0's in there, 3-1. Home plate umpires Charlie Relaford. This is his crew. Adrian Johnson at first, Larry Vanover, Dan Iasagna.
That's a sneaky fastball. 3-1. You're geared up for that fastball. You still lock Clint up a little bit.
And he comes all the way back and gets a strikeout. That's the sneaky fastball of his. I mean, you say sneaky, it's 91. That's plenty hard enough, but it just seems like it gets on hitters quick, at least by their reactions. Carlos Lee, Michael Bourne, Hunter Pence in the outfield. Jeff Keppinger, the former Reds, at third base. Tejada and Matsui formed the double play combination. Berkman, of course, at first, and Pudge behind the plate. Todd Helton takes ball 1, 2 outs, nobody on. Helton on the homestand hitting .360 with a couple of home runs. Todd lifts this foul out of play. Todd resting each night when he's at home in a hyperbaric chamber. I've heard of other athletes doing that.
Can you
Get
take
rid
that
of
on
the
the
body
road?
soreness. I think I'm not positive, but I think there is a way to do it. I think I've heard a guy, who used to do it was, he used to do a lot of weird things, was Romanowski. How about that piece of hitting? Toward the gap, Michael Bourne's going to cut it off, and that'll hold Todd to a single. That was a gorgeous swing.
It doesn't surprise us anymore. He's hitting over 440 now off of Wandy Rodriguez. He just takes the ball away from him, just stays on it, drives it to left field. And just a classic swing from Todd Helton.
Well, Matt Merton very likely would have played today regardless against the left-hander. but he has very good numbers against Wandy Rodriguez. I'll tell you more on Matt Merton with our Mike Shaw Auto Update and Mark Stout.
All right, Drew, you are exactly right. Matt Merton was with the Cubs in 05. First home run he ever hit as a big leaguer off of Wandy Rodriguez in August of that year. As this one is fouled down the line, should make the seats. The last home run he hit that year in 2005 was off of Wandy Rodriguez. He hit 7 in 05. 2 of them off Wandy Rodriguez. Ironically, Glendon Rush was on the Cubs with Matt Merton that time and started both those games and factored in the decision. He lost 1 and won 1. So Matt Merton has a big history against Wandy Rodriguez. Why he's hitting cleanup. Drew, Jeff?
He's hit cleanup on 22 previous occasions. And strike 3, not this time for Merton against Wandy Rodriguez. So Rodriguez strikes out 2 in the inning. Helton got a base hit. He's left aboard 3-0 Houston. Quote of the day: baseball is the only game left for people to play. Basketball, you have to be 7'6". To play football, you have to be the same width. The late and quotable Bill Veeck, the innovative Bill Veeck. And Jeff Keppinger takes a breaking pitch for a strike. Keppinger out of the 8-hole playing third base. He was traded from Cincinnati, where there wasn't room for him on the big league roster, to Houston on March 31st this year. It's a nice pickup for Houston. His third base has kind of been a fluid type situation for him. Last year they had Ty Wigginton there. They chose not to offer him arbitration, so Blum's been playing there and Keppinger a little bit. Barnes, 1 out. And that'll bring up Wandy Rodriguez, who's been pitching very well, but he has not gotten a hit as of yet.
0 for 14 so far.
Going to start taking extra sessions with Mike Hampton.
But that's why it's important in a game like this, is even though it's 3-0 right now, to get that leadoff hitter, that 8th-hole hitter out. So Wandy now can lay down a bunt. He's got to actually try to swing the bat. You like your chances.
I always find it curious when you have a left-handed thrower, in this case a left-handed pitcher, who hits right-handed, because if you throw lefty,
right,
there's some advantages to hitting lefty.
We saw that.
Okay.
We saw that the other day with the Marlins and Cody Ross.
Cody Ross is one.
Very rarely do you see guys that throw left and hit right at the big league level. I mean, the last guy I can really think of was Ricky Henderson.
That's a great example. Wandy Rodriguez is dismissed from class. 2 outs. There was a guy who played for the Mets when I was growing up who was a very good outfielder. Played on the '69 World Championship team. Cleon Jones.
Yep.
Who threw lefty and hit righty. Well, a reminder, if the Rockies score 7 or more runs, as they've done the last couple of days, if they do it again today, tomorrow, go to Taco Bell in your neighborhood at between 4 and 6 in the afternoon. Get yourself a snack or maybe get yourself dinner. 4 tacos for $1 with the purchase of a drink. 2 outs. Kaz at the plate. Bunt single his first time up. Scored a run.
I'm not really surprised he tried to bunt. The way he swung the bat from the left side in the last 2 games, not real good. Just like that, they've been able to overpower him up in the zone. And the hits he got in last night's ball game, he got a couple. Both of those were from the right side. You're looking from the Hyundai cam of Jason Hamill. He gets that front arm up, and this is where it really starts to drive down towards home plate, and that's where you got to pull that arm in. Strain on the elbow.
Good inning for Hamill. 2 punch outs. He's got 4 of those in the game. A 1-2-3 second. If the Rockies can get going against Wandy Rodriguez. Tonight, 6:30 and 10 p.m. and they spent a good deal of time filming up in Golden. And they made sure they visited the Coors Brewery, which is always a lot of fun. Brad Hopp at the plate. Here's the 1-0 to Brad. And that's inside and low. 2 balls and no strikes on Hopp. A marvelous start to 09 he has had.
Righties, lefties, it doesn't matter. With power.
He's had a decent series. He's 5 for 6 in the series.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
I like the RBIs.
Yeah, I like the whole homestand. He's 10 for 20 with a couple of home runs on the homestand. He's hitting 296 left on left. 2-1, and this is lifted to shallow left field, and Carlos Lee. That's about the edge of his range right there.
Yes, indeed. Lee stands in one spot basically the whole time. He gets over there and able to reach out at the last instance and grab that baseball.
Brad came into the ball game with that .362 average, 3rd in the league. Joey Votto #1, Carlos Beltran #2, 374, 370 respectively. Hanley Ramirez 361, Todd Helton 8th at 345. That average has gone up with the base hit. Garrett Atkins fouls it off. Now, when you're in one of these slumps like Garrett is, this is not foreign to any player who played at the big league level. Some are worse than others. This is particularly bad for Garrett, 0 for 24. I mean, you probably sometimes you go, all right, I got to swing early in the count. Then there's other times you're probably saying, you know what, maybe I got to see more pitches.
Right. So the time you go up there and swing early in the count, what happens? You say, okay, I'm going to get a fastball right here. Well, they throw you an off-speed pitch, a changeup, you end up rolling over. The other time you go up there and say, you know what, I'm going to take a couple pitches. I'm really going to eyeball these pitches. What happens? First fastball is right down the middle. And you're like, okay, I'm 0-1 again. I mean, that's really what happens sometimes when you go into these slumps. All the pitches seem to be right on the corner. Whether it's a changeup, curveball, whatever it is, everything just is not quite there, and it's because of the way you're seeing the baseball.
Now, you were telling me a story earlier when we were grabbing a bite to eat about a slump you had in the big leagues.
Yeah, 0 for 28. It was miserable, and I understand what Garrett's feeling right now. And the thing about it is, to fully illustrate that story, my first 12 at bats during that thing, I hit the ball hard 6 or 7 times. I mean, just line drives right at people, whatever it was. And then I went my next 10 or so, didn't get a hit, wasn't swinging the bat particularly well. Now you're in the 0 for 20s. You're not feeling good about it.
Strike 3 on the corner.
But that's my point right there. 3-2, perfect outside pitch right on the black at the knees.
That's what you get when you're 0 for 25.
0 for 25. I mean, Pudge just perfect. The way he caught that, the way he received it. I mean, you sit there as a hitter and go, well, I got to take it. As he's walking away, though, you know, he's frustrated. He understands what's happening. He looks at his average when he goes to the plate. He sees what it's at now.
Finish that story, though.
So anyway,
so you
had
a bunch of good at bats, didn't get a hit, then some bad ones.
But this is how bad it was going. Jeff Reed's at first base. I'm up, hit a line drive to right field. Jeff Reed's not sure if the right fielder's going to catch it. Not kind of caught in between. Short hops the right fielder. He throws Jeff Reed out at second base for a force out instead of having a base hit. Now that's how you know you're going bad.
Right. He hit a bullet, and it's.
It should be a base hit.
99 times out of 100, it's a hit.
I mean, they wouldn't even have thrown a pitcher out at first base on the ball I hit.
Right. 2-1 on Torrealba. Yorvi hits this pretty well to right center field. Pence back to the track, makes the catch. A 1-2-3 second inning for Wandy Rodriguez. Houston leading 3-0. Ball game will head directly without passing go to Pittsburgh, and they'll take on the Pirates over the weekend. Then it's Atlanta for 4, and then interleague play begins with Detroit. It's a 10-game road trip for the Rockies, and Friday night it'll be Jorge De La Rosa against Paul Mahone. Aaron Cook Saturday against Ian Snell. Ubaldo Jimenez Sunday against Zach Duke. First pitch swinging. And Michael Bourne fouls it back. So it's 0-1. 2, 3, and 4 in the Houston lineup here in the top of the third inning. 3 runs, only one of which was earned in the first against Jason Hamill. 2 Garrett Atkins errors. And it's a 2-strike count now on Bourne. A 1-2-3 second for Hamill. You know, yesterday, Jason Marquis gave up 3 in the first, got a 1-2-3 second. That was the only 1-2-3 inning of the night for the Rockies. Hopefully we're not saying that same thing this afternoon.
Yeah, the wheels just fell off for Marquis yesterday in the third and the fourth. That's where it's important, especially the second time through the lineup, and you're going to see 2, 3, 4 for the Astros to get them out.
Let's take a look at our Firestone leaderboard. Check of the stolen base leaders in the National League. There's Bourne leading. His 12th stolen base was a steal of home in the first inning on a first and third deal. Rockies tried to get Carlos Lee at second, and Ian Stewart trying to throw back to the plate. Never got the ball out of his glove. Bourne with the theft of home. Two and a base hit up the middle. So the swift Michael Bourne on first, leading off the third inning. And again, we check in with Mark Stat. Mark?
Drew, I'm getting grief up here because I just missed that foul ball. It came right to me.
Did you bring your glove?
No, I didn't bring my glove today. I did the last afternoon game. And it bounced off my hand. Xcel Energy fun fact about Bob Apodaca. 35 years ago yesterday, he gets his first big league win as an emergency starter for Yogi Berra and the Mets when he beat Bob Gibson and the Cardinals in St. Louis. I talked to Apodaca about this game, and he said, yeah, John Matlack, he didn't know what was wrong with him, but Yogi Berra said, you're in, and Bob Gibson was going against him. He claims he got a hit in that game. The box score says no, but he told me 3 times, I got a hit off of him, too. He went 5 innings, he scattered 6 hits, and he beat Bob Gibson in St. Louis on May the 13th in 1974.
I'm glad you related that story, because I knew that Dak's first win came against Bob Gibson, Mark. But now I'm going to give him a hard time on the flight to Pittsburgh, because is it not enough that he beat the Hall of Famer Gibson? Now he's got to throw out, say he had a hit also?
I told him, I said, you went 0 for 2. No, I got a hit off of Gibson as well. You know, you were talking about Cleon Jones. He homered in that game, and Jerry Grody did to back his pitching, but he got to win. Harry Parker went 4 innings for the save.
This ball is hit well to left center field. Merton backing up and in front of the wall makes the catch. There's a name from my childhood, Harry Parker.
Yeah, you know what? I don't remember him as much from those days. I was living in New Jersey, 2 out east, and rooting for the Mets like you were at that time, Drew. But you look at the lineup and you see, Wayne Garrett in there, and he was telling me about all the guys, Kenny Boswell and Bud Harrelson and Jerry Grody and everybody in that lineup with him. But he was so excited to know that it happened 35 years ago. And he knows he beat Bob Gibson. He said, I know it was the end of his career, but I beat Bob Gibson and supposedly got a hit off of him.
And before he got hurt, Dak became a very good closer. Here's Carlos Lee. Moved out of the rotation. I think Harry Parker had a split. But back then they called it a fork ball, Huey.
Fork ball, splitter, doesn't matter. Do they all do the same thing, don't they? One's just a little harder than the other.
Bourne not moving, and it's ball 1 on Lee. Carlos hitting .468 in May. Reached on a fielder's choice in the first, would come around to score on a Hunter Pence base hit.
See if Bourne takes off here. He's been measuring Jason the whole time. Took a false start last time.
There he goes, and it's fouled off.
Just a second ago, Lance Berkman hit a ball to deep left field. Matt Merton works behind the baseball, and good strong throw into second base. Michael Bourne had gone and tagged up, and he realized where the throw was. If that throw's offline any way, shape, or form, he's going to go ahead and get to second base.
That is the only time in the game, Huey, where a guy can tag up and see the entire throw in front of him.
Exactly, and that's why you do that, especially a guy with speed like Bourne. You go back and tag up, and then you can see the play.
This is slowly hit the short, and it goes under the glove of Barmes. Now he's got to head to third to cover that bag. Bourne will get there, and Atkins retrieves the baseball and holds Lee at first. Well, the Rockies, a rough night last night, and defensively, they have been shaky here in the first few innings.
Well, Clint comes and tries to backhand this ball, and he forgets to do the most important thing, and that's to feel it. You just don't see that from Clint Barmes very often. First error now on the season for Clint. I know what was going through his mind. He's thinking, okay, if I backhand this, I could throw to second base and get Bourne a speedy runner and have a chance to get the double play in Carlos Lee. It gets back to my old theory is you got to catch the ball first before you do anything else.
2 on for Miguel Tejada.
If you're just tuning into the ballgame, you're thinking, okay, Rockies are down 3-0. Jason Hamill must be struggling out there. Well, you know what? He hasn't pitched that bad. He just hasn't gotten any help defensively. I mean, 39 or 49 pitches, 35 of them for strikes. Make a couple plays, it could be 1-0.
And Tejada lifts it to right center field. Here comes Hopp setting himself to throw, but you have no chance with Bourne speed. Sac fly for Miguel Tejada. He's got another RBI this month. That's his 16th ribby in the month of May. The only player in the National League who has more. Brandon Phillips of Cincinnati has 19. 4-0 Houston. Well, here are the miscues in the first inning. The bunt by Bourne that's thrown up the right field line by Atkins. Here comes Atkins again, safe at first on the Matsui play, and then Berkman bobbled, and that's an error on Atkins. And the throw to second, and Stewart couldn't get it out of his glove. The ensuing hit by Pence, then a high throw allowing Carlos Lee to move up, and then just this inning, Barmes on the backhand had it go underneath his glove. They've not executed well.
Nope.
They've not played good defense, and thus they are down 4-0. And you have a guy on the hill with a 1.80 ERA.
Yeah, and one of their most consistent pitchers. So now once again, you're fighting uphill. You're playing the whole game uphill. Certain things you can't do in that situation. You can't lay down a sacrifice bunt if you need to, other than the pitcher. A lot of different things happen now. You got to play more straight up baseball.
One 1-0 on Hunter Pence. And Pence lines it to the gap in right center field. This is going to run to the wall. A decision for Dave Clark. He's going to send Carlos Lee. And here's the relay to the plate from Stewart. It's on line. Out at the plate. Great throw from Ian Stewart. And a nice tag from Yorvi Torrealba to just cut down Carlos Lee.
What a throw from Ian. His feet in the right position. Strong throw. I mean, it looked like he might have got in there anyway with that right toe, but you go right at that leg of the catcher. This is the area you want to slide right into there. Instead, he slides out and around, trying to reach the base that way. I mean, Yorvik didn't give him much opportunity, but you're taught to go slide right at that foot to try to take him out.
Close play.
It was.
Torrealba did do a good job taking that
very
corner
nice
away.
job.
A good job by Yorvik. Ian Stewart, Jason Hamill, Ryan Spilborghs, 4-0 Houston. And the lefty, Wandy Rodriguez, gives up a towering third deck foul ball.
Yeah, this is exactly where you want to have your foot if you're Yorvik Torrealba. You want to be right in line with the third base line, so you don't give him the perception that there's any place to go other than try to go out and around. But I was always taught if that was the case, you go right towards that foot. You slide right into it to try to knock him off balance, maybe that bobble the ball, whatever it may be.
0-2 on Stewart. Stewart has 6 hits at Coors Field this year. 4 have been home runs. And on this homestand, Stewart is 4 for 21, 4 home runs.
He's just much more aggressive against left-handed pitchers, it seems. He just sees the ball better or something.
He's hit 353 against lefties. This is fouled off, and 169 against righties.
I mean, even last night, oh, he hit off a Hampton down and in. Just an aggressive swing.
That was the first pitch of the at-bat.
That's right.
There's the splits. And this ball's hit hard. Cavs will back up, spin, and throw out Ian Stewart. 1 out in the third. Jeff, what are you focusing in on this afternoon?
Well, I really want to look at how the lefties match up against Wandy Rodriguez. I mean, the left-handers for the Rockies have done a lot of damage in these two and a half games so far with Ian Stewart, Brad Hopp, and Todd Helton. Conversely, though, I look at Wandy Rodriguez's numbers against lefties. He's only given up 3 hits, one of them already today in the ballgame to Todd Helton. But lefties on the season, 3 for 39, hitting .079 against Wandy.
He's also done a great job retiring the leadoff man. He's now done it 37 out of 48 innings. Close to 80%. Not bad with the second man either. Strikeout number 4 as he gets Jason Hamill.
That was just a nasty curveball. Well, one thing that Wandy has been able to do this year, talking to scouts, is as you mentioned, Drew, work ahead. So when you start working ahead, now that curveball changeup comes into play, and just the confidence that he's showing out on the mound now. Really hasn't had any of those blow-up innings that used to cause him fits in prior years.
Ryan Spilborghs with a 1-0 count. And 2-0 on Spilly. Line drive, base hit to right. Look away, drive it away.
Well, yeah, that's a game plan going into today's ball game for all the Rockies hitters. There's very rarely will Wandy come inside. He'll show it, but as the hands go back, you get a little bit of leg kick, and then those hands drive towards the baseball, palm up, palm down. Look at that right there. Just a classic swing as you would diagram it.
Clint Barman struck out swinging his first time. Dodgers are playing an afternoon game at Philadelphia. They're in the 9th inning. It's 3-1 LA. That was Chad Billingsley going for his 6th win of the year against Cole Hamels.
Your pitcher's duel.
There goes the runner. Here's Pudge's throw to second. It is in time. He can still do that.
Yep. Now 6 for 14 on the season for Pudge.
So Spilborghs is cut down by Rodriguez. That's all for the Rockies in the 3rd. They trail at 4-0.
Heather Parker.
Are you your teacher?
I am, 6th grade reading and language arts.
It's her birthday today, so everybody is celebrating her birthday. Quick, the Aflac trivia question is, name the 6 teams that Vinny Castilla played for. I know a lot of people think he only played for the Rockies, but he did play for 6 teams. We'll get you that answer as the inning goes on. All right, Drew, Jeff?
All right, thank you. Pudge Rodriguez will lead things off. Bottom 3rd of the order against Jason Hamill. Breaking pitch swung on and missed. Last inning, 2 outs. Barmes is up. You have Pudge behind the plate. Wandy Rodriguez, a left-handed pitcher, not easy to run on.
No.
Real tough combination. You're trailing 4-0. I was surprised to see him go.
Well, I was too. And this could be an instance right there from Spilly that he was just too overly aggressive and trying to force something that's not there. You got to be patient. You got to pick your spots. Maybe if it was 1-0 or 2-0, I could understand. But down 4, you got the middle of your lineup right down the street, then I would prefer for him to wait in that instance.
2 balls and a strike. Yorvik Torrealba trying to remind Jason Hamill to stay closed with that front shoulder. Thought he flew open.
When you do that, you start to leave the ball flat. Don't get that downward plane.
Stayed on line with that breaking pitch. That was nasty.
And notice the difference. That front side and hitting and pitching are very similar in that regard. The front side flies open pitching. You're going to leave the ball flat. You're not going to get as much velocity on it. Hitting the same thing. Your bat slows down.
Houston's been pretty solid against Western teams so far this year, 5-2. Of course, they had a sweep of San Diego before coming to Colorado. San Diego get beat again today, 6-1 in Chicago in the 5th inning. Milwaukee beat Florida today 5-3. The Brewers have won 9 of 11. They're 21-14. Ground ball to Todd Helton. Pudge is retired. That'll bring up Jeff Keppinger. Keppinger bounced to short his first time.
Hey, Wells Fargo's customers, enjoy Colorado Rockies baseball in style with the special Wells Fargo offer. 2-for-1 club level seats. Visit wellsfargos.com/Rockies for all the details. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC, official bank of the Colorado Rockies.
Slider got the corner. Strike on Keppinger.
A lot of bite to that slider today. The last couple he's thrown had a good downward action and away from a right-handed hitter.
And Keppinger hits it in the air, right center field. Good jump by Stillborgs, and he'll make the catch.
And that's what made that play, was the jump from Spilly. One more look from our vantage point here. Spilly seems to stick out his glove there just briefly to let Brad Hopp know, hey, I've got it. He says it verbally and also with the glove. That way the outfielders can communicate a couple different ways.
Here's Wandy Rodriguez, takes a strike at 94 on the corner. 4 runs against Hamill. Only one of the runs are earned.
Yeah, that was what I was saying a couple innings ago. Just look at the way he's throwing the baseball. Good movement, good pitches. And it helps when the pitcher doesn't run down the line.
Good inning. 1, 2, 3.
Bottom of the 4th, Rockies trailing 4-0 against Houston. I'm here with the Franklin Middle School kids. Little field trip down from Greeley. The Aflac trivia question was about Vinny Castilla, who still, of course, is an assistant with the team. And what 6 teams did he play for? Everybody knows he played for the Rockies. Well, he also played for the Braves, the Nationals, the San Diego Padres, Tampa Bay, and the Houston Astros. And I talked to Vinny about when he was in Tampa Bay. They released him in 2001, said that he was miserable. This week in 2001, the Astros signed him. He proceeded to hit .270 that year with 23 homers and 82 RBIs. They won the Central. We went to the playoffs. Told me, guys, that Houston revived his career as this is laid down. Drew, Jeff?
Wandy Rodriguez throws it past the first baseman Berkman, and Barnes is going to end up all the way at third base. Maybe that'll get Colorado going.
Well, sometimes that's all it takes. Try to lay down a bunt. Then tried to push it, just deadened it a little bit. Wandy comes off. He makes a throw down to first. And Clint's running right down the line. Just threw it back across the runner off the edge of the glove of Berkman.
Do you know what? I mean, I think back to that Dexter Fowler play because Dexter wasn't that far, you know, to the infield side of foul territory when he was called for interference. You could have easily called Barmes out there.
Yep. Yeah, and the rule is you got to be in that 45-foot line. You can change and go over into the baseline the last stride that you make towards first base. I know that rule very well.
Here's the 0-1 on Helton, who singled his first time outside 1-1. So a base hit, bunt single, and a two-base error on the pitcher Wandy Rodriguez. One and two on Todd.
Yeah, I kept waiting to see what Charlie Relaford might do. If he might put his hands up and say there was an obstruction or runner's interference. He didn't.
I don't want to be premature. I guess I was. They have not put a hit up on the board. I was just kind of assuming they were going to give him a bunt single and a two-base error. We'll see, though. 1 and 2 on Helton. And Todd pulls it down the line. A fair ball into the right field corner. Barmes scores. Helton on his way to second. And Hunter Pence will throw it back in. So Todd Helton's 2 for 2. RBI number 21 for number 17. And the Rockies are within 3 of the Astros.
Tried to work the fastball inside and up. Well, we've seen Todd be able to stay on top of these baseballs and drive them down the right field line. We've seen it hit a home run down in Arizona. This time he keeps it inside the bag. That ball kicked off hard. Hunter Pence was charging, trying to get it. Just kept running away from it. 7th double now this season for Todd.
Do you know what? They've just scored that first play, and that's why I'll never make an official score, I guess. They have scored it. An error on Lance Berkman all the way. So a 3-base error on Lance Berkman, given assist to Wandy Rodriguez. They felt that Berkman should have handled that throw, and therefore no hit for Barmes, but he's in the dugout, the Rockies' first run. And here's Matt Merton at the Matt Merton at the plate.
You take the run any way you can get it.
Yeah. Nobody out.
Just a little surprise. I think it was an error because if they make the throw good, that Clint's out. I just kind of surprised that it's on Berkman. You have to reach all the way across your body. You got a runner coming at you, and the ball nicks off the part of your glove. Well, one more look at it. I mean, Clint's running. Same place Dexter was. You're right, Drew. Right there. And you lose that ball the last half second.
One and 2 on Merton. You know, that's that play that's so scary for a first baseman, where you're extending an arm out in front of a 200+ pound guy running full steam.
Well, I mean, we've seen guys break their wrist, dislocate their shoulder, get injured on those type of plays.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, and you're right. If the throw is online, or if it's caught by Berkman, Barmes is out. Strike 3 on Matt Merton. That's the second time he's been caught looking.
Second place they've thrown there too today. Both times he's been caught looking on that ball inside.
And that's a situation where you got to get it in play. Try to move Helton up at the very least.
Curveball. Take a look from the overhead, King. I understand why Matt's not happy. That ball was inside. But got to try to do what you can do.
So Brad Hop steps up. Nice running catch by Carlos Lee against Hop in the first at bat for Brad in the second inning. Takes ball one. Here's the evolution of Brad left on left. In 2004 when he came in, you look at the NL batting leaders, he had 152. 05 he had 250. 06 232. 07 he slipped to 214. Last year he hit 282. And this year he's hitting 296. 1 ball and 1 strike. He kept hearing Brad Hop and a platoon right fielder for the first few years. You don't hear that anymore.
Not at all. And he's just getting in there every day into the lineup, either hitting in the 4th, 5th spot. But he deserves it. The numbers bear out what you were just talking about, Drew, that he deserves to be out there playing every single day. He's shown that he can handle left-handers. Because coming up through the minor leagues, you hit him all the time anyway, and sometimes you get that label when you come to the big leagues. Oh, he's just going to be a platoon guy. Occasional left-hander, but you play every day in the minor leagues until you prove you can't do it. You get the shot here.
How about this, Huey? Brad Hop plays every day. We were just talking about that.
Yep.
Brad Hop's a guy who's a big, strong, middle-of-the-order hitter. There's 8 guys on the Rockies who have more strikeouts than Brad Hop. He struck out 16 times. He's almost 1-to-1 walks to strikeouts. He's got 14 walks.
For a guy that has a big, long swing that we've talked about before.
This is out of play down the left field line. 3-2. Slugging percentage in the National League. Albert Pujols is #1. What a surprise. 692. Raul Ibanez, he's had a fabulous start in the Phillies uniform coming over from Seattle at 672. And then Brad Hop at 649.
Ibanez was a great pickup for the Phillies.
Tremendous. They lose Pat Burrell. And
that's okay. I mean,
Ibanez is a better outfielder than Burrell.
And he's a more well-rounded hitter.
Three and 2 it remains. The Rockies love to cash in Helton at second, cut this lead in half here in the inning at the very least. Todd with a double to drive in Barmes. 4-1 Houston as the Rockies hit here in the bottom of the 4th. Trying to win a series for the first time since they took 2 or 3 from San Diego on their previous homestand. And this ball is lifted to center field to deep. Bourne misread it initially. Now he's going back, way back. He's not going to catch it. It's off the wall. Helton will walk home. Brad to second. Back-to-back doubles. Michael Bourne looked up. And then he said, whoa.
Must have forgot who was hitting. Big, strong guy like Brad Hop.
Another RBI for Hop. Another hit against a left-hander. The beat goes on. It's 4-2.
Notice how much Pudge had to go back and try to reach across his body from the Hyundai cam. The leverage that Brad Hop creates, that's what allows him to hit the ball so far. Michael Bourne turned 2 or 3 different directions trying to catch up to this ball. Even if he would have got a great break off to start with, I'm not sure he catches a baseball.
Well, where would the Rockies be without Helton and Hop the first 6 weeks of this season? Here's Garrett, and he pulls it foul.
Garrett needs to come through now. Break that streak, that 0 for 25 streak.
One and one with 1 out.
Pulls that front side up, hit it to the right side.
Nice. Out front on the off-speed pitch. That's just what you can tell even on that.
Yeah.
His timing's way off.
Right. To hit a curveball that far foul just lets you know that 2 things. You're not trusting your hands, and you're not letting the ball get deep enough on you. And those are all the things that are going through your head as a hitter when you're struggling, when you're scuffling. I got to get started. I got to cheat a little bit sooner.
Atkins toward the hole, get through for him, it does. Here comes Hop, here's the throw from Carlos Lee. Brad safe, Atkins trying to move up, and he's cut down. But Garrett Atkins ends an 0 for 25 slide with a base hit and an RBI on a 1-2 pitch, and it's 4-3.
We just talked about trusting your hands, and that's what Garrett did on that one. Let the ball travel a little bit deeper. Yeah, I know he pulled the ball into the hole, but that's where the pitch was. So you got to hit it over there. Brad with the nice read. Richie Dower waving him the whole way. The slide in, but then Pudge with just the gun to second base. I mean, not a bad decision from Garrett Atkins. He saw the ball going over the top of Keppinger's head. And 9 out of 10 catchers aren't going to make that strong throw down there to get you.
Torrealba in a 1-run ball game now, 2 outs and nobody on. Now is Addy's first hit since the 3rd inning of a ball game on May 4th, 10 days ago.
Might as well have been 10 months in his mind.
Strike 3 on a curveball. Torrealba is gone. In the inning, the Rockies come up with 3 runs, and they're back in there with Houston. Months. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. By Dex, take the sport out of finding local information with Dex in print and online at dexknows.com. And by Burton Toyota, where the Tacoma is less than $23,500. Here's Kaz Matsui outside. Ball 1. Kaz, a bunt single. Scored a run in the first, struck out in the second inning. Well, new lease on life for Jason Hamill. Have a quick inning as he did last inning and get that Rockies offense back after Wandy Rodriguez.
Yeah, both clubs today. You think about the Astros, 4 runs, only 1 earned. For the Rockies, 3 runs, only 2 of them earned. Get your offense going again.
Left field, Merton.
Perfect placement. Defense. Yeah, Merton moved 3 or 4 steps, and that was about it. It's just all the scouting that goes in, all the meetings you have before the ball game. You look at hitters' tendencies, and you position yourself accordingly.
Michael Bourne's got a couple of hits today. He's 6 for 12 in the series. Coming into the series, 3 for 29 in his career against the Rockies. Playing offensively, Huey, within himself more this year.
Well, and I go back to something I said in last night's broadcast. I think hitting out of the 2-hole is really, really good for him, because you got Kaz, when he gets on base, you see more fastballs. You have Lance Berkman hitting behind you. That's a pretty good spot to be in. So he's I notice him more calm at the plate now. Not as jumpy with his swing. Very much under control, spread out just a little bit more with the feet, just trying to use the hands, stay on top of the baseball, hit it on the ground. He's got speed to burn, so you don't want to hit the ball in the air. And you think back to his numbers, hitting out of the #1 spot, hitting 222, and now in the two spot, 323.
I think, especially with Kaz in front of him, to your point, it puts the bunt that much more in play for him. And some guys, I'm sure you did some leading off in your career, some guys don't like it.
No, but it forces you to do it. The other thing it does is it forces the defense to cheat in, to honor that bunt. Now that ball that you might hit, that might not be a hit if they're playing back just a little bit more, all of a sudden it's a base hit.
He would have been great with the old Cardinals on the turf.
Oh, wouldn't he?
Ground ball fair down the right field line. Long run for Brad Hop, and it gets caught up, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
It got caught up underneath the fence, so it's a ground rule double. If it doesn't, it's going to be a triple. Brad was swung over in left center field with a hard throwing Hamill.
This is almost a carbon copy of what Todd Helton did earlier. Hit it in the same spot. Adrian Johnson, the first base umpire, hustling out, puts his hands together, realizing that there was interference down there by a fan.
I was a fan. I couldn't tell if it got caught underneath.
Well, the only reason you see Johnson put his hands up, Adrian Johnson put his hands up, that'll let you know it's fan interference. But that padding, sometimes it will also catch underneath there. But you're right, Drew. If that's not interfered with, he's over at third base.
I said Brad was over in left center. That would have been extreme. He was in right center.
That's a big shift.
Lance Berkman, a deep drive to left his last time up. He's 0 for 2. He reached on an error by Garrett Atkins in the first. He did get an RBI on that error because there was runners at first and third. The Rockies were conceding the run. Berkman 4 for 4 last night. It's not pulled the trigger. It's 1-1.
Typical Berkman fashion too. The reporters asked him after the game last night, 4 for 4. How'd that feel? He goes, I'm still hitting 216. Yeah. Those guys have been jumping up for joy. I went 4 for 4. I'll worry about my average later.
Well, I guess, Lance, the response would have been, had you been 0 for 4, Lance, you'd have been hitting $180.
Right. Much better to look up at that scoreboard, even though it's down to 212 now, or 216 going into the game, rather than that one something before it.
He's always torn up the Rockies. A career 347 average against the Rockies, and it's not just here at Coors Field. In fact, his career average at Coors is 339, so he's done more damage at Minute Maid.
Good hitter's park, Minute Maid.
Real good hitter's park. Bourne takes off for third. Here's the throw. Safe. Wow, that was a good throw by Torrealba, too.
That was a great throw. I was surprised Bourne went with a left-handed hitter up in Berkman. It gives you a perfect angle as a catcher to try to make the throw. Bourne just outran the baseball. Quick snap throw by Jorve. We talk about throws down to second base. Drew it under 2 seconds as Bourne does slide right in. It looked like maybe the tagger got right underneath of it. To get back just for going down to second base, 2 flat. It's the time. I got Jorve at 146 by the time he caught the ball and throw down to third base.
It was a bang bang play, as they say in umpiring.
But now you got to play the infield in.
3-2 on Berkman. And it's ripped right at the second baseman, Stewart. 2 outs. Good reaction by Ian.
Oh, my. Well, you think about this. He's about 89, 90 feet away. And that ball was just lathered right at him, but fortunately it was to his glove side. Quick cat-like reflexes.
Not out of the danger zone yet. Carlos Lee at the plate. 0 for 2 officially. Reached on an error last time up by Barmes. Slow roller that creeped under his gloves. He tried to backhand it. This is popped up. And Barmes just waiting. Nice job by Hamill. Bourne is left at third base. Middle of 5. Rockies trailing 4-3. In 1967, or 42 years ago, Mickey Mantle becomes the 6th big leaguer to hit 500 home runs. He joins Babe Ruth, Jimmy Fox, Willie Mays, Mel Ott, and Ted Williams. Ian Stewart trying to bunt his way on, trying to cross up the Houston defense. That 500 career club has expanded since the mid-60s.
A few guys. I wish I could have seen Mickey Mantle play.
I agree with you. That's a strike. They check it out at third with Ayasagi. Dan says yes, he went 0-2. I'd like to have seen him run.
Yeah, before the knees.
Before the knees.
You just hear so many things about his ability and both sides of the plate. What a treat that would have been.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Stewart. Pudge Rodriguez catching Wandy Rodriguez. No relation. You know, as long as Pudge has been around, he broke in with Texas when you were playing for the Rangers. He has never caught a pitcher by the last name of Rodriguez. And Rodriguez is a very common name. 3-2.
I saw that note too. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
As many guys as he's played with and the different teams. Detroit. Some time with the Yankees, the Marlins, Rangers.
He's caught 38 Smiths, 14 Browns, 6 Gonzaleses.
Right. But no Rodriguez.
Caught a Ryan.
That he did. Did not catch any of his no-hitters, though. We will see the manager tomorrow. The Pittsburgh Pirates that did, though, John Russell.
In the first game he caught a Nolan Ryan.
Yes.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'll go behind the plate today. Who you got? I got Ryan.
You got Ryan.
Yeah. Oh, how many hits did he give up? None?
I called a great game.
Called a great game. He followed my lead.
Yeah. I did whatever I put down there. He just said, yep.
Yeah. Three and two on Ian Stewart. Rockies deficient by a run as they hit in the bottom of the fifth. And this is a towering pop-up in foul ground.
Oh.
Berkman and Pudge. And it didn't even land on top of the dugout. It landed in the Rockies dugout.
That ball was up there.
Todd Helton's remarking to whoever is near him right now, I'm glad I didn't have to try to catch that pop-up. Helton was always so self-deprecating. Says, I can't stand pop-ups. And this one was way up there.
Yeah. Both those guys are thinking, you know what? I'm glad that went in the dugout. So is Ian Stewart. One more pitch. A fastball away.
Well, he got it. Foul tip held by Pudge. You know, you think about pop-ups, and you caught a million of them in your big league career. For the fans, there's only two outcomes with the pop-up. There's the strikeout. There's only two outcomes. One, you catch it naturally, and everybody in the world expects a pop-up. You ought to catch it. So if you don't, you're the biggest goat going.
Yeah,
and some of them aren't as easy as they look, right?
That one especially. You think in Wrigley Field, too. Ryan Sandberg hated pop-ups. I mean, absolutely hated them. I mean, here's a Hall of Fame second baseman.
Yeah.
But he didn't want any part of it. I was just the opposite. Figured those were a lot easier than trying to catch that little ground ball that was going on that dirt and grass and wet and all that other stuff.
Helped the fielding percentage.
Yeah.
I got the pop-ups.
Yeah, another.
Why don't you share it? He takes the ground ball, you take the pop-up.
I don't think he can put the extra runner out there.
That's another strikeout. That's 8 strikeouts now in 5 innings for Wandy Rodriguez. You think of Rodriguez, you don't think punch-outs, but he had 7 in his last game, 8 today. His season high is 10 against the Reds at Minute Maid. With 2 outs, that'll bring up Spilborghs.
Coors Field's a great place for group outings. Groups of 25 or more receive discounted pricing, scoreboard recognition, and other great benefits. Call 303 Rockies for more information. These fans are having a great time. What a nice day today.
Spilborgh's 1 for 2, lined a single to right his last time up. The last time the Astros had a battery, going back to the Rodriguez thing, last time they had a battery with the same name, 1974, right-handed pitcher Jerry Johnson throwing to Cliff Johnson. Remember Big Cliff Johnson?
Big Cliff Johnson.
Played for the Yankees also. He could hit the ball a long way.
Oh, country mile.
Yep.
And then another country mile.
He could hit it to the back 40. 0-2 on Spilborghs, outside 1-2. Another update on Troy Tulowitzki. He got hit. You know, you were speculating maybe the funny bone.
Yep.
That's why he had the little deadening in the pinky and ring finger last night. Some tingle in there. Sitting out today, but he hopes to play tomorrow.
Well, good. I figured it was a pretty good sign when they didn't take him from x-rays last night, but to hear today when he came in is feeling a little bit better than he thought it might. Just missing 1 day.
And Wandy Rodriguez strikes out the side. He's got 9 punch-outs now. We're through 5 innings. Houston was earned. Then they got another unearned run in the third inning. The Rockies have kicked it around. They have 3 errors, with Colorado right there trailing 4-3. Drew Goodman, Jeff Hewson, and Mark Stapp. Miguel Tejada to lead off against Jason Hamill in the 6th. And he takes a breaking pitch to the body, so he'll go to first.
Well, Jason got out to the side of that breaking pitch, not on top of it, out of the side, comes out of the side of your hand. The curveball just hits Miguel Tejada in the back of the thigh. Those ones don't hurt. 74 miles an hour, just glancing below over there. You take your base at first.
Hunter Pence with a 1-0 count. Torrealba will visit with Hamill. We'll tell you that if your windshield has any damage, call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, online at safelite.com.
One-0 count. Catcher just goes out there. 9 times out of 10, it's a fastball. Coop puts a hit and run on.
Line to right at Brad Hobb and Hunter Pence. If he hasn't gotten a hit, he's made a loud out.
There was a fastball, 91 miles an hour, right on top of it.
You know he's in a good place. Going back to what you were discussing in his last at bat, everything he's hitting is to right and right center field. I mean, he's letting the ball get deep and he's driving the ball.
It's just the opposite of what Garrett's doing. You know, you talked about Garrett not letting the ball get deep enough. Yeah, he got a hit last time, which is great. But Hunter Pence is just wearing that right side out. Stands off the plate a little bit and just looking to drive the ball that way.
Here's Pudge 0 for 2. And you think about when Garrett's going well. Here's Matt Daly getting loose. Garrett used to wear out that right center field gap, and he will again. It's just
all the time.
It's just not happening currently, though. Garrett did have a hit in his last at bat, an RBI into that 0 for 25 slot. Tejada gets chased back.
Tejada does have 1 stolen base on the year, been caught 1 time. This is more of a chance to make sure that, you know what, where you're over there, we're not going to let you get a walking lead.
He's never been a big stolen base guy. He's been a middle of the order guy. That's one of the reasons also. But career highs 11 back in 01 with the A's. However, in his second year of pro ball at Modesto, he had 72 stolen bases. Outside 2-1.
Nice stop from Yorvit. He's set up more on the inside part of the plate. That ball went all the way across his body. Had to stab at it at the last instant.
Yeah, it's wild. You can never tell what a hitter's going to do in the big leagues. You project, and you say, well, he gets bigger, he develops better strike zone discipline when he does this, when he does that. He may be this, or then again, maybe he won't be that. Well, Pudge never came close to hitting 300, or excuse me, Miguel never came close to hitting 300 in the minor leagues. He's done it quite a bit in the big leagues. That's outside 3-1 on Pudge Rodriguez.
Well, how many times do you hear somebody or a scout say, you know what, the pitching, they're around the plate a little bit more at the big league level. So once he gets up there, he'll get more pitches to hit. Well, then the other side of the coin is when he gets to the big leagues, the pitchers will be better. So I don't think you truly know what he's going to do at the big league level until he goes out and does it.
Yeah, it's kind of a wash, huh?
Yeah.
3-1. Tejada takes off, and it's a line drive to center field. Tejada is going to go to third, stop there. Wide turn, and Pudge Rodriguez comes back to first. First and third, 1 out.
One thing we have seen from Cooper is putting the runners in motion, whether it be 3-1 or 3-2. Another instance where they do. And Pudge just reaches out and just really just one-hands that baseball into left center field.
Yeah.
I
didn't know if Clint was going to wait with Keppinger coming up. He's gotten him twice. Wandy's due up after that. They're not going to pull Wandy Rodriguez out of the game the way he's throwing.
Nope.
Thought he may stay with Hamill for a couple more hitters, but evidently not. He's going to go get Daly, seeing that it's a one-run game. And Clint's going to do everything he can to keep it right where it is. So Hamill departs. He goes 5 1/3. Sixth inning, there's one out. There's 2 runners on for Houston. Miguel Tejada's at third. He was hit by a pitch, went to third on the base hit by Ivan Rodriguez. Jason Hamill's been removed from the ballgame. Matt Daly takes over. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 800 Comcast. Jeff Keppinger will be the first hitter to face Daly. Keppinger, ground ball to short and a fly ball to center.
Well, Matt's just worked his way up the totem pole coming into tight situations. Ball games now up 1, down 1, and that's where the Rockies are at right now. Down 1 at here at Coors Field. No earned runs, or no runs allowed, excuse me, in any of his appearances. Keppinger 1 for 13 so far with runners in scoring position this year.
There's a slider for a strike. I mean, if all goes well in a perfect world, he gets out of this mess quickly and throws the 7th inning, hopefully after the Rockies score a couple.
That's right. I mean, that's why Clint has the confidence in Matt to come in these situations. He can throw 2 or 3 different pitches for strikes. He's just been able to pound the strike zone and hit his spots.
Heavy fastball there from that low 3/4 arm slot. It's 0-2.
And low 3/4, you just don't see that very often. You see the submarine guys, you see the high 3/4 who are over the top, but the low 3/4 and the way he sets up makes it difficult, especially on the right-handed hitters.
Keppinger, this should be 2. There's a good feed to Barnes. Wonderfully done by Daly. 3 pitches, and he gets out of the mess on a 4-6-3 double play. 4-3 it remains. trying to score first on a double by Hunter Pence, and he's tagged out. Big play in a one-run game. That was the Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Cam. With Jeff Houston and Mark Stout, I'm Drew Goodman. Wandy Rodriguez has been very good. He has struck out 9 in 5 innings. He brought a 1.80 ERA into the ball game, 4th in the big leagues in ERA among starting pitchers. And he'll face Clint Barmas, Todd Helton, and Matt Merton, 2, 3, and 4 in the Rockies lineup. So it's the third look at Wandy, who has pitched well in his career against Colorado, 3-1 with a 3.5 ERA. And he's won 2 out of 3 decisions here at Coors Field.
Yeah, and the big number for me is at 0. I know he's got 9 strikeouts, but 0 walks. That's on the heels of what he did in his last outing against the Padres. Yeah. 7 strikeouts, 0 walks.
It's really an underrated starting pitcher in the National League. 9 and 7 last year, but didn't get a ton of run support. He had a 3.54 ERA last year. Barmas fouls it back. It's 2-1.
Well, at home this year for Wandy's 2-1 with a .67 ERA.
In a hitter's ballpark.
That's right. Out on the road, 1-1 with the 3.50.
Inside out swing, and it's going to dump foul into the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Barmas.
Nice catch by the fan. Going to go up high over his shoulder.
Whatever it takes.
Well, that's why he brought the glove.
Breaking pitch, and this ball's in the air to left center field. Well struck, but Bourne will run it down. 1 out, and that'll bring up Todd Helton, who's 2 for 2, a single and a double. Let's check in quickly with today's Colorado Colorado payback sideline report. Mark Stout.
All right, Drew,
get the language straight. Sorry, Mark.
I'm here with some of the biggest Rockies fans, Dan and Emily from Thornton. Dan, how many games has Emily, who's 5, been to?
248 today.
This is her 248th Rockies game, as this is skied by Helton. And we'll watch Bourne grab this. All right, Emily, you've been to 248 Rocky games. I know you're Dinger's best friend, but who is your favorite Rockies player?
Troy Tulowitzki.
Troy Tulowitzki. He's not playing today, but Todd Helton is. What do you think about Todd Helton? 2,000 hits. That's all you have to say.
2,000 hits.
Yes, she wants Todd Helton to get 2,000 hits, 248 games. Pretty cool. She is one of the biggest Rockies fans. Drew and Jeff, I met her at Fan Fest this year that you guys were at in January and said, come out and see us out here in left field. So we did. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Mark, thank you. And Todd now with the 2 hits today, 3 hits shy of 2,000. He just missed tying that this ball game up
by an eyelash.
Matt Merton is 0 for 2. 2 backward Ks. 1 ball and 1 strike on Merton. Don Baylor, we were standing with him yesterday around the batting cage, and guys are coming in and out. Merton comes in, and unsolicited, Baylor said he's got big time power.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a stocky guy, big legs, big torso area, and that helps drive the baseball when you get that very fast runner. But he does. He surprises you because he's such a short and compact swing. A lot of times you think of those big power hitters, those guys that can drive the ball, they get a little bit of a loop, get that big uppercut swing. Matt doesn't have that. He does have not only pull power, power to the opposite field.
2-2. Wandy Rodriguez with a career-high tying 10th strikeout. He has a 1-2-3 6th inning. Houston continues to lead 4-3. To you by the great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. By Mike Shaw and Chevy Saab, Colorado's crossover and SUV headquarters for 50 years. Visit MikeShawAuto.com. And by your Colorado Hyundai dealers, finance or lease any new Hyundai. And if you lose your income, we'll make the payments for the next 3 months. Wandy Rodriguez against Daly takes ball 1.
I'll just tell you right now, Drew, that's not me. In case you were wondering.
Would you ever?
No.
It looks really
scary.
It looks peaceful. It looks like you'd have unbelievable views. It may be just a little bit more adventurous than you or I could bite off.
Exactly.
We'll have to live vicariously.
Well, that's why they go out and get these beautiful shots from Golden. Watch other people do it.
I like Golden. It's a great little town.
Oh, isn't it? Main Street.
Daly's slider fouled off by Rodriguez. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
In Major League Baseball and People magazine are looking for individuals who have made a difference in their community. 30 everyday All-Stars will be honored at the 2009 All-Star Game in St. Louis. To nominate someone special, go to peopleallstars.com.
Swung on and missed. Rodriguez is gone. And that'll bring up Kaz Matsui in the top of the order. Kaz is 1 for 3 in the ball game. He had a couple hits and 6 opportunities last night. Been pretty healthy this year. He did miss 4 ball games in a stretch about 2.5, 3 weeks ago with the back flaring up. He's always going to battle that.
Yeah, and no matter, once you have that back injury, and people at home know that feeling, it always seems to be somewhere either in the back here. It's right there, right below the surface. You never know when you're going to tweak it again, get out of bed in the morning. And that's what Kaz has to deal with. Make sure you do the exercises.
Barmas on the move. 2 outs. Well, you have to be impressed with Daly. Guy comes up, and with all of the uncertainty in the Rockies bullpen, a good portion of the first few weeks of this season, Daly has come in very quickly.
Well, you know what?
And found himself a significant role.
Well, that's because he's earned the manager's trust. Keep putting guys in situations, they keep coming through for you. The manager's going to keep running you out there. But the thing that impresses me most about this young man is his ability to throw strikes, work ahead in the count, and just continually attack the hitters. And Clint Hurdle has all the confidence in the world of this guy now to put him in any situation, because you think back to last inning, 1st and 3rd, only 1 out. You need a double play ground ball. What's he do? He rolls it and you get out of the inning.
Now he's ahead 1-2.
When you think about it, how many times have he said that? Daily ahead in the count.
About every time he's taken the mound. We've told the story before. He went to Clint Hurdle when he was sent out late in spring training back to minor league camp, and he said, listen, I believe I'm a big league pitcher. This is chipped to left for a base hit. He goes, I know I can get big league hitters out. I hope you won't forget that. I hope at some point I get an opportunity to prove it to you. So when he's finally given the opportunity, a guy who was a walk-on at Bucknell University, great academic school, not known at least in the last half century for its baseball in particular, a guy that was undrafted, a guy that's toiled in the minor leagues, has waited his turn. You know, a guy like that, when he finally gets to toe a big league rubber, he's going to make it happen.
And he has to. I mean,
he's not going to be afraid.
Well, no, he's not. I mean, 2 things. He had guts to say that to Clint Hurdle, and then the second thing is he's backed it up with his action.
Yeah. How about Bourne? 4 for 4 in the game.
I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to steal first pitch here.
It would be a good play here, upper on. He started to go and he shut it down. Strike on Berkman. You know, give Lance the best hitter in their lineup, even though he struggled here at the start of 09. Give him a chance to add an insurance run.
Yeah, Daly 1.09 to the plate on that one. That's why Michael Bourne shut it down.
That's exceptionally quick. Bourne in the game has 2 stolen bases, and how often do you say this? He's got 2 bags and he hasn't stolen second yet. He stole home in the 1st inning, and he stole 3rd in the 5th inning. If he gets second here, it's the stolen base version of the cycle.
I'd pitch out.
Yeah, head in the count. He's not going, and it's fouled off. 0-2.
Well, these are the thoughts that are going through Jim Tracy's mind, who makes the call, and whether they're going to throw over, pitch out, do all those things. Just what we're discussing up here. And then it's a cat and mouse games between the managers. Jim Tracy makes the calls as a bench coach for Clint Hurdle.
The 3rd, Atkins will throw across. And a good job again by Matt Daly as he gets Lance Berkner with Bourne on first base. Stretch time at Coors Field, 4-3.
focus that I had earlier in the ball game. I wanted to see how the lefties would do against Wandy Rodriguez. We mentioned coming into the ball games, left-handers were just 2 for 36 off him. But so far today, lefties are doing a pretty nice job. That includes Todd Helton, a couple hits, a RBI. Brad Hopp, a double and an RBI. 3 for 7. 3 of the 5 hits for the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, Brad Hopp nearly hit one out against Wandy Rodriguez. That's like an impossible task these days. He has not given up a home run, folks, in his last 14 and a half starts, or 2/3. For Wandy Rodriguez, the last home run he gave up was August 10th of last year against that, I mean, vaunted home run hitter. That's a great way of putting it, Huey. Hobert Cabrera of the Cincinnati Reds, and he did it at Cincinnati, so it shouldn't really count.
Shouldn't count the way the ball flies in that ballpark. But still, think about the starts he's had in Houston with Crawford box down the left field line. That's an impressive stat.
Well, he came in today with the second longest streak in baseball for not allowing a home run. The only one who had a longer streak was Zach Greinke at 53 innings. Wandy started the day at 45, so he's already pitched 6 innings, so he's got that to 51. Zach Greinke.
What a nice story that is.
It's a great story. Forget home runs. Nobody's getting hits off Zach Greinke.
A couple years ago, he was out of baseball for a while.
And by the way, those numbers are just for this season. For Wandy, the number's even higher because it goes back to August of last year. You know, there's another good story in baseball that I wanted to bring up. Last night for Detroit, and the game became a wild affair. Leland got tossed. There were 6,000 runs and 40,000 hits. But the starting pitcher for Detroit last night was Dontrelle Willis, and there is a strikeout of Brad Hopp. That's number 11, a new career high. Dontrelle Willis went 4 2/3, gave up 4 runs on 8 hits. Only walked 2. He did throw a lot of strikes, so hopefully he's on the way back.
It would be good. 1
out for the Rockies. Garrett Atkins coming up. Chris Sampson in the reshuffled Houston bullpen is beginning to throw. Wandy's at 105 pitches. Now an Embry for the Rockies.
Well, and the most he's thrown this year was 116 pitches in his last outing against San Diego when he threw 8 innings.
With that strikeout of Hopp, Wandy has struck out everybody in the Rockies lineup today, save Todd Helton. And if you strike out Hopp right now, you're doing something.
Yeah.
1-1 on Garrett, who broke the 0 for 25 slide with an RBI hit his last time up. He's out front with a changeup. It's 1-2.
Take a look at Wandy's pitches by innings. We always set that mark right at 15. Pretty good numbers from Wandy. Only the 4th inning, and that was hurt by the air on Lance Berkman. That's why that 24 is a little higher.
Down the line, gloved by Jeff Keppinger.
That's the way it goes. We were talking about early in the ball game, and that ball was lathered. It's not going well. The guy jumps up and makes a play. Also over on the line just a little bit more. To me, he's just a little bit out of position. He should be in the hole just a little bit to his left. Goes up high and gets the line drive off the bat of Garrett Atkins.
Yeah, you'd have been talking about tying run at second base with 1 out. Instead, 2 outs, nobody on. Garrett Atkins left shaking his head in the dugout. Torey Alba is 0 for 2. He was caught looking his last time up. Curveball for a strike on your V.
Well, the reason I said that Keppinger was a little too close. Typically, you don't start playing the lines till the 8th inning.
Ground ball to Kaz Matsui. What a job by Wandy Rodriguez. It is still 4-3 Houston as we go to the 8th. Yes, on that young man. Rockies trailing 4-3. We go to the 8th inning. Getaway day for the Rockies. This Comcast call to the bullpen brought to you by Comcast. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 800 Comcast. Well, Alan Embry will face Carlos Lee, Miguel Tejada, and Hunter Pence here in the 8th inning, trying to keep it a one-run ball game.
Al's come in now. He's the 8th inning guy for Clint Hurdle for most of the time. It's splitting time with Jason Grilli trying to get that lead so he can go to Houston Street in the 9th.
Another great job by Matt Daly. He went an inning and 2/3, allowed 1 hit and struck out a batter. Wandy Rodriguez, assuming he's done. Pitch count generally in today's game dictates that. This ball is hammered by Carlos Lee, and now it's a 2-run ball game. For Carlos Lee, his 7th home run of the year, and it's 5-3.
He jumped on that first pitch from Embry, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. One more look at this home run from Carlos Lee. Oh, it just got quick through the zone with that bat. He knew it right away. Created the leverage and the torque. And hit it a long, long ways. One more look at this in real time. About 2.5, 3 seconds to get out of here.
Now Miguel Tejada, and he has himself a line drive to center. Spilly caught the baseball. Nice job by Ryan Spilborghs, taking a base hit from Miguel Tejada.
It's all about the jump. We've seen Ryan earlier in this ball game get the jump on a ball in right center field, make the play. These are the toughest balls for a center fielder to try to come in and grab, because you're not sure which way it's going to break. Is it going to slice to your right, to the left? He's able to come in, make the catch right off the grass, and show it to Larry Vanover, the second base umpire, who was out there. Cecil Cooper went out to argue a little bit, but that was a correct call from Larry. What a jump from Ryan, though. That's what makes him so valuable. Yeah, he's going to throw out the hits, but he can play left, he can play right, he can play center field.
And you got to have some guts to make that attempt, because if you miss it, especially in center field in a big ballpark like this, that's at least 3, if not an inside the park home run.
Yeah, because it's right at you. There's nobody that can back you up. When you think back to the corners, or you play a corner position, you go to a ball into the gaps, you always have somebody to back you up. Center field, you're out on an island. The ball gets by, you got to get up, gather yourself, go back to the fence, and try to corral it in.
1-0 on Hunter Pence. Now ball to short. That's picked up by Barnes. Let's see that catch one more time from Ryan Spilborghs.
He has to go to the slide first and then get underneath the baseball to make the catch. Then you do what you're always taught to do, come up and show the umpire. Whether you catch it clean or it short hops you, whatever, you always try to sell it. That time he didn't need to sell it much because he made the catch.
You know, it's kind of funny what happens in sports. You're taught as a youngster, never cheat, right? Never lie. Then you diplomatically describe that as trying to sell it. If it's a short hop, you pull it up. Hey, I caught it.
I did, right.
In your mind, know that, hey, in that case, he did catch it.
He did catch it. I understand your point.
Yes. Ivan Rodriguez. It's the one time it's okay, right? Fouled off, and it's a 2-strike count on Pudge. 1 for 3, a single. The Rockies trailing now 5-3 in the 8th inning. They'll have Ian Stewart, a pinch hitter, And Ryan Spilbort's crowd of 22,696 in the ballpark this afternoon.
With the right-hander Chris Sampson out there. Seth Smith, if I was Seth Smith, I'd be making sure I was loose and ready to go. Be the second hitter.
It's the first home run the Rockies have allowed, by the way, in the last 5 games.
Yeah, the pitchers, other than last night's start, have done a very fine job keeping the ball in the ballpark and giving the offense a chance to come alive.
2-2. Fastball 94. Almost offered at and very close to being a called strike.
I just like the way Jorvik just held the ball. He was getting a little help from the dugout as well. We saw this called earlier in the ball game. Called for a strike 3. We saw one on Matt Merton that was inside, and a little bit more than that one was outside.
And a base hit on the 3-2 pitch.
The second time today, Pudge has been able to just go out there and one-hand the ball.
Yeah, as he visits with Jose Cruz at first base. And that'll bring up Jeff Keppinger, who played collegiately at the University of Georgia, an Atlanta area kid. He went to the same high school as Jeff Francoeur.
Frenchie's swinging the bat a lot better this year.
We'll see him in a few days.
Yep.
He had a rough year last year by his standards. 0-1 on Keppinger, 0 for 3 in the game.
Fans, follow the Rockies on your iPhone or iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, real-time box scores, and video highlights. Visit ColoradoRockies.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch. There we go. You can have that one too. I think that was Nick B, wasn't it?
And an 0-2 base hit to right by Keppinger. Jason Michaels is striding the plate. He's going to pinch hit for Wandy Rodriguez. 3 hits in the inning. Carlos Lee began the inning with a long home run to left. It's 5-3 Houston. Windshield chipped or cracked after the winter? Don't wait. Call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000. Safelite.com is how you reach them online.
You must have saw my windshield out in the parking lot.
I'm telling you, go see. There's a lot of locations.
I know. One down by me. I'm going to have to visit them soon.
Tell them I sent you.
I will.
Charge it double.
Just come back from the mountains and those rocks just come up, and next thing you know, it's across the whole car.
Yeah. Outside on Michaels, ball 1. Houston took a 3-0 lead in the first inning, so the Rockies have been battling uphill ever since. Got an unearned run in the third to take a 40-0 lead. Then the Rockies scored 3 times in the fourth. We locked in at 4-3 to the Carlos Lee home run earlier this inning. 2-0.
Michaels on the season 2 for 13 as a pinch hitter.
So Wandy Rodriguez, here he goes 7 innings, gives up 3 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits, strikes out 11, does not walk a batter for the second straight game.
Got the right-handers in control too.
That's a strike. So he's got 18 strikeouts, no walks his last 2 outings. 15 innings and just a couple earned runs.
He's in a very good place right now. He's able to throw all 3 pitches, has the confidence. Such a big thing in this game, but he has the confidence when he steps out on that hill that good things are going to happen.
The guys playing behind him have a lot of confidence in him. 2-2.
Alan Silk can get that fastball 94 mile an hour, and that one just overpowered Michaels.
Michaels played at Miami with Pat Burrow. They had a good team there.
Those 2 guys with aluminum bats? That's scary.
Yes, it is.
I don't want to play in the infield. I'll go ahead and go play left field and maybe over on the other side of the fence.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Embry to Jason Michaels. There's Kaz Matsui. If Michaels gets a hit here.
Yeah, Belial up and warming, and I look at it, I wouldn't want Kaz to hit from the right side the way he's been swinging the bat a couple hits last night. I'd want to make sure he stays on the left side. Would you get this guy? It doesn't matter.
Four of Michael's 6 hits this year have been doubles. Two balls, 2 strikes. We've seen this before somewhere.
Well, we have. It's the old age-old dilemma. What are you going to throw now? Well, he keeps throwing fastballs. He keeps fouling them off to the right side. So you think, okay, throw him a breaking pitch? Well, no, but then you speed up his bat. So you look at it, what do you keep throwing? He keep throwing the fastball. You try to work it in on his hands just a little bit more, try to jam him. Or stay away.
And he finally relinquishes as Alan Embry gets him with a fastball. In the inning, Carlos Lee hit a home run to left to make it 5-3. 2 men were left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Houston +2. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Rockies trailing 5-3. They've been behind throughout the ball game. Ian Stewart out of the 8-hole will lead it off against Chris Sampson, who's been unscored upon in 7 of his last 8 appearances. He has the lowest ERA in that Houston bullpen, which has been reconfigured. They wanted to have Brocail and Hawkins setting up for Valverde, who had 44 saves last year and led the National League. The problem is Valverde's hurt, Brocail's hurt, Hawkins is now closing, and so it's been a hodgepodge down there of late for Cecil Cooper.
Yeah, it could be a while before Brocail's back. We're talking the All-Star break.
Broken bat, slow roller to Berkman. He had trouble with it for a moment, but he recovered to get it to Sampson. And with 1 out, the pinch hitter will be Dexter Fowler.
Berkman goes after this ball. The cutter in. I actually got that off the end of the bat. I thought it got in on him. No, off the end of the bat. Then Berkman goes over there and just stumbles. His foot comes out and able to stay and keep his balance, make the toss to Sampson for the out.
Wandy Rodriguez retired the last 10 batters he faced. The last base runner for the Rockies was Garrett Atkins briefly when he singled in the 4th inning. And I say briefly because he singled in Brad Hopp. But in the process of Hopp scoring, he tried to move up to second, and Pudge Rodriguez on the throw to the plate fired to second and cut him down on a close play. That's the last hit. Last time the Rockies were on base, the 4th inning. Dexter is behind 0-2.
Hey, planning an event, don't strike out. Hit a dinger. Call the Dinger hotline at 303-312-2266 or send an email to dinger@coloradorockies.com for more information about having Dinger, the Rockies mascot, show up at your next special event.
Here's the 0-2 to Fowler, and he's gone on 3 pitches. So Fowler has gone 2 outs, and that'll bring up Ryan Spilborghs. 12 strikeouts combined in the game, 1 for Sampson and 11 for Wandy Rodriguez.
I'll think back to the bird keys of the game, Drew, where the second one was quality at bats. 12 strikeouts, not the number you're looking for.
It really has been a Jekyll and Hyde offensive year so far for the Rockies. Double figures the last 2 nights on the ground. Nice play at third, man. That was a beautiful play by Keppinger. And he looked like a middle infielder making that play at third.
Just a little pirouette, strong throw to first base.
Maybe that's because a lot of his training was there in the middle of the infield. 1-2-3 inning for Sampson. We won't be quiet after the ball game because we have the post game report, and that means Tom Helmer and his well, you never know. I mean, you could see Tom in song or dance or both.
You never know. I got Tracy out here now. I know he wants to cut a rug, so perhaps we'll do it during the post game show. We'll also get you into the clubhouse here from Clint Hurdle. To error is human. Rockies feeling pretty humid today. They had some errors there in the first inning. We'll talk about that. And also the daily grind, Matt Daly. I'll tell you what, this guy has been lights out. I've been very impressed by him. We're going to talk about him as well. It's all coming up after the ball game, and perhaps some line dancing, Tracy, after the There you go.
That's the only kind Tracy does.
I don't even know exactly what that was, but maybe he'll teach me. Drew?
Tom just needs to come to Wyoming.
Dancing with the Cowboy to follow. Houston Street is on the mound right now, and he will face Matsui Bourne and Lance Berkman in the 9th inning for the Astros. The Rockies 3-4 on this homestand, so trying to take 2 or 3 from Houston and finish at 500 before departing for the Steel City here at the conclusion of this ball game.
Even though it's not a safe situation for Houston, the last time they threw was Sunday against Florida. And with the off day Monday, hadn't been in the last couple ball games. You don't want him to sit out there, be too rusty. That's why Clint Hurdle's getting him an inning of work today. There's 7 straight scoreless innings for Houston now. 6 innings, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts.
Matsui's 1 for 4. And that's a strike. Clint Hurdle said something during his pregame press conference today that kind of struck a chord with me. You know, much of the conversation when you talked about the Rockies schedule the first 4 weeks or so was that not only were you playing a lot of high quality teams even outside the division, playing the Cubs early on. This ball's lifted to shallow center field. Spilborghs will make the catch. But the Rockies had to play a lot of games away from Coors Field. Well, at the conclusion of this game, they'll have played 1 more game at home than on the road.
That's shocking. When he said that this morning, I was like, no, that can't be true. And then you think about it, yeah, it is. But it just does seem like they haven't been able to play a lot of games at home. But you think about this homestand, they have, and now they've caught up. So they need going back out on the road now for 10 games.
Now, the bad part about it, the Rockies usually very dominant at Coors Field.
Right.
Every team needs to be dominant at home. Rockies, since this facility opened, is Bourne pulls the bunt back. In '95, had the 6th best home record in the National League, going all the way back again to when Coors Field opened in April of 1995. This year, if they lose today, they'd fall to 7-10 at home, and they're 6-10 out on the road. Well, there were hopes that when the Rockies came home for the first time on this trip for an extended period, an 8-game trip, that so maybe you throw out 6 wins and really get things flipped around. It may have to happen out on the road now. It's going to have to happen out on the road.
It's going to, yeah. It's just shocking that you come home and you're usually a place that you do play so well. You look at the schedule and you look at some teams that are coming in, you think you got a shot, like you said, Drew, to go win 5 or 6 games. Just didn't happen.
Street is ahead of Bourne. 1 and 2. Bourne's been perfect today. 3 singles and a double. 4 for 4. You got to hurry with this kid. And Barmes beats him by a stride.
Another play where Clint's able to come in and field off the glove as you charge it, and you, especially with a guy like Michael Bourne, you have to come get the baseball, and that's what he does in the quick transfer. This is the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Clint Barmes be able to do this today, where he comes in and makes the off-balance throw. And I was thinking after the last one, Rockies have 2 of the best, in my estimation, able to come and circle the ball and then make the strong off-balance throw to first in Clint Barmes and Troy Tulowitzki.
Yeah, they have 2 A-level shortstops. The Troy Hawkins warming up. He's the closer right now, and he's done a good job in that role for Houston. Berkman takes outside ball 1. And LaTroy is going to see former teammate Barmes, former teammate Helton, and Matt Merton. Was LaTroy in Chicago and Merton was in Chicago?
No, I don't think so. I think Hawk was there just prior to it. Matt was in the organization, but he was playing down in Double-A.
Anybody gets on for the Rockies, Brad Hopp will be the 4th man up. Rockies trailing 5-3. Here's the 2-0 on Lance Berkman. on the corner, 2-2. Berkman, one of 6 Astros in the month of May, hitting above 320.
He's closing in on 300 home runs.
Yep. He's at 295. Down the line foul.
So with Berkman, Pudge, and Carlos Lee, they could have 3 guys hit the 300 plateau mark for home runs this year.
Those are great numbers. Lifetime 300 average. He's going to have 1,000 RBIs here probably in another month.
Hard to believe it's his 11th season though.
Dougie double checked some. We were speculating about your old club. Hawkins in 05 was with the Cubs. He was traded on May 28th to the Giants, and Merton was called up July 8th. So they were in spring training together.
Right.
So we can call them former teammates, right?
Close. In the same uniform. Same year.
They were both in Mason, March.
And in March. Well, that's going to be Hawks' role for a while. And Valverde, we're hoping by the 1st of June.
Well, there was an article online today describing what Brocail and you read it too. That's ball 4 in Berkman. 23rd walk this year for Berkman. So that'll bring up Carlos Lee, who hit a long home run his last time up very quickly. You're talking about Valverde and Brocail, and it's not good when all they're doing right now, because they have lower body injuries, they're throwing while kneeling.
That's not good.
Right.
No.
They don't want them to stride when they throw. It's not like, you know, oh, another week they'll be back.
No.
They're ways off. 2 outs. Here's Lee, and he fouls this pitch off. He did not foul off the first pitch he saw from Alan Embry in the 8th.
Oh, he did. Center cut fastball. Where the big power hitters like to put it, out in the seats.
Seventh home run this year for Carlos Lee. Get fouled. Turn. It did. That's up on the concourse.
And then up onto the roof.
Yeah, that just bounced. You're right. Onto the roof. Wow.
Good thing it went on the roof. It might have hit your car on the back side of the stadium there.
He was heading in that direction.
Right where you park. The Drew Goodman spot.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Swung on and missed. So Street strikes out. Carlos Lee will go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies will have to rally against their former teammate LaTroy Hawkins. They trail at 5-3. Rockies have been out hit 11-5. They have not reached base since the 4th inning. 12 in a row, 13 in a row, set down by a combination of Wandy Rodriguez and Chris Sampson, and now it's LaTroy Hawkins in pursuit of his 5th save this year. Now, we saw LaTroy yesterday. He got the final out of the ball game after Chris Iannetta hit a grand slam, and the Rockies scored 5 against Jeff Geary, who, by the way, was placed on the disabled list prior to the start of the game. So Hawkins got the final out. Ian Stewart hit a fly ball to right, and now he'll be asked to get 3 outs with his team ahead by 2 runs.
Well, pretty nice numbers at Coors Field. 2.67 ERA. Team leading 17th appearance now for Hawk. 2 batters that are going to face him so far in this inning. We see Darren Erstad now taking over for Carlos Lee in left field. Clint Barmas 0 for 1. Todd Helton 1 for 3. Matt Merton 0 for 2.
Now, down by 2 runs in this situation, 1 or 2 runs, it's usually automatic. You take one.
Yeah.
And he took a strike there, so now he's ready to go.
You're right. If you're down by 1, I'd go ahead and try to jump on that first pitch if it's going to be in there. You need a couple base runners, at least 1 to get the tying run to the plate.
0-2. All-time ERA at Coors Field of pitchers that have thrown at least 30 innings here. Jose Mesa is number 1. Jorge Julio, that surprised you, right? Is number 2. Jason Grilli's number 3. LaTroy Hawkins is number 4 with a 2.67 ERA. Oh, 0-2 on Barmas outside. Jeremy Affeld's 5th.
What is that? What'd you say? 30+ innings?
At least 30+ innings.
LaTroy still has that power arm. A 94-mile-an-hour fastball, the hard slider. It's just so effortless.
And this ball's hit well to center field. Bourne going back, and he runs to a spot, and he makes the catch. That's textbook how you handle a fly ball or a line drive over your head.
Yeah, you just run to the spot, as you mentioned, Drew. You just go and you trust your instincts of how hard the ball was hit and where you have to go. And the thing that also helps him is he was already shaded over into the right center field gap. So that shows me 2 things: how they were going to try to pitch Clint Barmas, and now he's asking. He's looking over at Darren Erstad. How do you want to play him? I'm going to play him straight up. So if I do that, you've got to come over into this hole just a little bit into the left center field gap and cut down the balls there.
Todd 2 for 3. Single and an RBI double. Outside, ball 1. Seth Smith in the on-deck circle to hit for Merton. Out of play. Down the left field line. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Rockies got all their runs in the 4th. Barmas reached on an error. He bunted the ball, and Wandy Rodriguez threw it to Lance Berkman, and Berkman couldn't handle the throw. The error went to Berkman, and Clint ended up at third base. Helton doubled him home. Brad Hopp followed it 1 hitter later with a double to score a run. Then Atkins singled in Hopp. So the Rockies got their 3. 1-1 on top.
And that's where they're going to keep pitching him. Just away. They'll give him the single to the opposite field, possible double. They're not going to let him try to pull the ball. I know the Rockies are down by 2 runs. Still, the pitcher's motive is to not get beat inside.
Rally Todd, we hope so.
Yeah. And then rally Seth, and then rally Brad.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Helton. Looked like a split.
I would think that only the miles per hour would tell me it's not. The fastball that he just buried. Well, was Pudge able to back end? Yeah, I got it in my glove. It's right there.
Did a little research. You know, we always talk about Todd being such a great 2-strike hitter. Since 2000, over the last 8+ years, really 9 years, Todd Helton has the highest batting average with 2 strikes in the game at 279, and it's not close. Albert Pujols is next, 10 points lower than Helton at 269. Isn't that something?
It is.
And this ball on the line to left center field, and Bourne, with the great wheels, somehow tracked it down. 2 good plays by Michael Bourne to help out LaTroy Hawkins. And they're 2 outs.
Well, Michael Bourne had shifted over to the left center field gap for Todd. And this is 2 plays. And then you can see why the Astros like this guy so much, because of his speed. We've seen him run down a lot of balls in this series. Just getting good jumps and playing solid outfield.
Now the Rockies' best pinch hitter is Seth Smith, and he's going to hit for Matt Merton here. 2 outs in the 9th. Trying to reach for Brad Hopp. Strike on Smith. Smitty pinch hit in the 9th yesterday and doubled in a run, and then came around on the grand slam by Iannetta.
3 for 9 so far on the year for Seth Smith as a pinch hitter.
Boy, you want to give Hopp a chance. Rockies have had 2 quality swings. Barnes hit the ball hard. Helton hit the ball hard.
Well, yeah, it's not like they're missing pitches from LaTroy. They just hit him where Michael Bourne was.
Good eye by Smith.
Well, that's 2 pitches from LaTroy, 95 miles an hour. Three straight times they tried to go inside, look for Pudge to work away.
And he's sitting on that outside corner. That's where the fastball went. Talk about hitting your target.
Yeah. Well, everywhere that Pudge has wanted the ball so far in the bat against Seth Smith, he's gotten it. Just an overpowering fastball. He wanted it away. He hit his spot. Gone inside the previous 2 times. There, set up for the fastball away.
36-year-old LaTroy Hawkins with a 2-2 count on Smith.
Smitty right on that fastball.
Runs full.
Takes a lot of guts to take that pitch. 2-2.
He just gives you a comfortable at bat, doesn't he?
Yeah, and it didn't really even flinch at that. Saw it right out of the hand, spread out a little bit, just thinking about using the hands to hit the baseball.
Two outs, 3 and 2 in the 9th. Outside and high. And the tying run will come up with Brad Hopp. And it's time for our job done right player of the series. Brad Hopp, 6 for 9 in the series. A home run, 8 driven in. Also a couple of doubles. Presented by the Colorado Association of Mechanical and Plumbing Contractors. To have your next building or service project done right the first time, visit Colorado.org. Brad Hopp, an RBI double in 3 trips today against LaTroy Hawkins.
Smart move by Pudge to go out there, settle LaTroy down. Hopp in his career off of LaTroy Hawkins, 0 for 2. I look back at those 0 for 2s. Those are in prior years when he wasn't in the place that he is right now.
Yeah, if Clint Hurdle could pick anybody to come up in this situation right now, he'd pick one of 2 guys, Helton or Hopp.
Yep. Helton hit the ball strong to left center field. They're not going to give Brad anything inside. Look to drive it away.
Brad had a healthy rip there on that 1-0 delivery. I mean, he was right on it. As you take a look at the Quest in-game box, all the hits you see up there, and they're not many, it happened in the early part of the game. With Smith reaching, it ended a run of 15 in a row retired by Houston.
Yeah, last hit they had was back in the 4th inning. Nobody holding Seth Smith on. Lance Berkman playing behind over at first base.
You know, he's close enough. Miguel Tejada's close enough to the bag at second. And with Pudge's arm, there's nothing to gain by going to second. That's why, if you're wondering why is he staying there with nobody holding him on, there's nothing to gain. This is all about Brad Hopp right now and seeing if Brad can keep the inning alive.
Run yourself out of the game.
That is fouled off, and it's a 2-2 count. And again, Pudge will go out and hand deliver the baseball to Hawkins. He likes the ball down.
Yes, he does. Tried to drop that back shoulder down to get a little bit of lift and elevation. And the high follow through. Those are the type of swings. When you go down and then the high follow through, that's the one that creates the angle of the baseball to get out of the ballpark.
Some guys have natural loft, don't they?
He has natural loft. It's just, I mean, you could try to stay on top of the ball, work through it. You know what? It works for Brad. That's just his swing path. That's what he does.
2-2. And it's 3-2. Atkins is on deck. The manager, his heartbeat races until that 27th out.
Oh, and the other thing, too, now you put the pressure on the infielder's got to throw all the way across. 3-2. Seth Smith will be taken off at first base.
Strike 3. LaTroy Hawkins strikes out Brad Hopp looking, and that's the ball game. Houston wins at 5-3. They take 2 of 3 from the Rockies. He goes on the back door. Ball cut back. I don't know. It was a hard slider.
It was a hard slider.
Yeah, the gunner at 90 miles an hour. That's as hard a slider as you will see.
Yeah, Hawk just, you think about all the fastballs that he'd been throwing. Finally came in with the hard slider, hit a spot, and nothing Brad could do but look at it.
Wandy Rodriguez gets the win. He's 4-2. Jason Hamill takes the loss. He's 0-2. Hawkins picks off his 5th save. Rockies finish the homestand at 3-5. 5-3 Houston. Back with the postgame after this.